Hello, welcome back to another video. So in today's vlog I'm gonna tell you everything about my visa experience, what happened, what I would, what questions I was asked, and how did I handle the anxiety, how long did it take for my visa to get approved by the visa officer, and I'm gonna also tell you about the cabinets. My visa was in Mumbai. Okay, so my visa main interview was on 21st of July, and my biometrics was around, I guess, a week ago to that. So I will start talking everything about the biometric, what happened on that day, and then later on the visa day. So for the biometrics, when I went, so my biometrics was in Mumbai and also my visa was in Mumbai. For the biometrics, I was wearing a white shirt and a black pant. Now, moving on to the interview date. So my main interview was on 21st of July. Slot was the second slot, that was like around 9:30 to 10 o'clock, but you are supposed to reach to the interview slot before like an hour or like 2 hours prior to that. It was also in Bandra BKC, where there is like a white color structure building. I don't remember which building that is. So everybody with their parents, everyone, all the students are supposed to wait outside the building. Nobody is supposed to get inside. Only when they call out your name in the mic, you will be hearing that the slot number 9:30 to 10:30 or maybe something they call out, and then that's when you're supposed to go inside. For the main interview, I was again wearing a black pant and a white shirt, and then I just went for the interview queue that I was standing in. I had to submit all my documents over there, so I submitted my passport, anything that I was wearing, and it is always suggested that you do not wear any electronic gadgets on your hand or all over your body. Do not wear belts if it's possible, because eventually they will remove it and you have to submit that in a tray, and that tray goes to an electrical system where the security gets checked. So after the security is checked with all your documents and with everything that you're submitted in the tray, you go on the other side of the beeper. There they check you again, and then they just give you your documents. After that, for the second step, you have to again wait in the queue. So I guess for the queues that I'm talking about, you have to wait around in 2 to 3 queues. There is like a bunch of, like how you go for Tirupati Darshanam, how you have to go for like from section to section wise. So everywhere you have to go in section to section. You have to wait there in line, and until you like see the actual place where there are counters and where there is real interview going on. So I was just chanting all the time. I mean, I was very nervous because of course, like I was very scared what would happen. I just did not know. So I will talk about the questions and my experience inside, and then later I'll just give you insights of more other things. So after that, when I was waiting in the queue, from there was a moment when I saw the like block structure where there were counters, and each counter were having a bunch of students standing in the queues again. I went inside. I was just praying that I get a good counter, and I was just revising all my answers. So the man who took my interview was like an American guy. His age was around 30 years and he was very sweet. So the first question that he asked me was, how are you? I told him, I'm good, thanks for asking, how are you? So he told me that I'm good, and then he asked me my passport. I was standing right here, and on the left side there was a camera. So there on the left side there's always a camera here, and there is a small inlet where you have to put your documents in. So I put my passport over there. He took my passport from the other end. He saw my passport, then he asked me for my I-20, and I don't remember exactly the documents. And the second question that he asked me was about my undergrads. So I told him, I answered him that I have done my BTech from Usha Mittal Institute of Technology, which is a women's college, with overall pointer of 9.21. And later now I'm pursuing my master's from Pace University in information systems. So I think he just raised his eyebrows saying like this because he heard that pointer, and I guess when I just saw that expression on his face, I thought that maybe I'll just get my visa here because I saw a good sign coming from him. Then for my third question, he asked me about my admits. He asked me, where did you have, like, how many, not the companies, how many universities did you apply to, and how many admits do you have? So I answered him by saying that I applied to a total of 6 to 7 I did not say 6 to 7, I said a proper number which I don't remember now. So you have to give an accurate number, you cannot be like 6 to 7, you cannot be unsure about anything. So I said 6 universities, out of which I got an admit for 4 universities, and I named them. So the first one was Dayton University, second was ASU, third was Colorado, and fourth was some university from Texas which I do not remember the name, but I actually answered him by then. So this was all about my admits and the colleges that I applied to. So after asking about the admits, that person asked me about my finance. So he asked me that who is funding you and how are you going to fund your masters. So I said that I have a loan approved of $90,000, and I also have a few savings. That's all. I just said that, and luckily he did not ask me any documents about the savings or anything like that. So it worked for me, because I think my I-20 amount was around 80k, and I already mentioned that I have a loan approved of 90k, so maybe that was enough for it. And for the living expense, he did not ask me anything, but I was ready with my answers, but he luckily did not ask me anything. So whosoever is going to have their visa interviews, if they ask you more question about finances, so you always be sure of giving them more amount, like giving them a clarity of the amount which is greater than the amount which is mentioned on your I-20. So for example, if your I-20 has an required amount of 80k, so you always have to make sure that you already have 80k and there is an additional loan. So when you say that you already have an 80k amount, so that can be in the form of properties, it can be in the form of savings, or it can be in the form of your father's earning or anything like that. The key point over here is anything that you tell the visa officer, you just say that with a lot of confidence. Okay, talking more about the financial part, unfortunately, I did not have any savings, and I also did not have anyone sponsoring me other than the loan that I'm dependent on. So what I would suggest, through my friends' experiences and through the process they went through, what I would suggest is, even if you do not have any savings, even if you do not have anyone sponsoring you, you can always arrange it through some consultancies where they work in such a way that they put a particular amount in your bank account, and you can get your balance history from the amount that has come into your bank. And that is what exactly a lot of my friends have done. In my case, I was lucky enough, or I just took the risk because I couldn't manage arranging so much of funds in my bank account. So it just went in a flip and everything just happened well for me, so it just worked for me. So but that is not the case in everyone's scenario. It might be something else for you, so you always be ready with backups. You do not take risk. I had no other choice other than just taking risk because there was no funds for me. So if you're gonna say that your father or your mother is going to sponsor you, or they are going to be your sub-sponsors, so you can always attach their pay slips, or if they run any business, you can always have a word with their CA and take out some documents and take those along with you if the visa officer asks you for any document. I'm telling you again that I got luckier, but it does not happen that way with everyone. So there are a lot many people out there who had to actually show all of their documents. So it got really easy for me. My visa just got approved in 2 minutes. The further question, he asked me about my work experience. So I told him that I was working as a business analyst with an ex-company from past a year. Along with that, I added that I really don't remember the exact word, but I'm just going to give you a brief of what I said. So I told them that I really appreciate the idea of studying masters in university, in Pace University, and I cannot wait to start my journey studying information systems, masters in information systems in Pace University. So talking on the finance part, I remember that my visa was on 21st of July, and I gave my resignation with the company that I was working with on May 15th, and I served the notice period till June 15th, and June 15th was technically my last working day. So I worked there till June 15th. After that, I already had my visa slot booked in prior. So my counselor was very sweet enough when I was like working and I was very super busy. She helped me with telling me that the visa slots has opened. So I just like went there, I booked the slots, and I got the slot on 21st of July. So after the time period of 15th of June to 21st of July, I really remember the kind of anxiety that I had and the kind of pressure that I had on my head, because there was no other funds ready other than my education loan. So I was really very nervous, and the only amount of funds that was available with me was the savings that I had through my earnings. That was from 1 year. There was no other help from anywhere coming through, but eventually everything worked under my favor, and it just happened, and it was enough for that time. So yeah, so that's all. So finance part becomes a very crucial important part, but because what my experience is about the visa interviews is, they really want to know that do you really have the amount of money required to pursue your masters. Because just in case if they feel that you do not have the potential to pay your bills or your tuition fees, it will really remain a disadvantage for you. So the time when I was going through all these processes, I have several friends where I asked their experiences, and they told me that if you bluff, or if you just get anxious, and if you do not be very confident enough, it will really be a very drawback for you. And there are like a few friends of mine who got rejected because of the same point. So yeah, you have to be very confident, and you have to be clear with your answers. So whatever question that comes up on you, you just have to be very prepared with that. So if you ask me how I prepared my visa interviews, was my counselor gave me she gave me a pamphlet. Okay, so there were like bunch of questions in it, and she asked me to write in my own answers, because like of course your details would be different than other details. I wrote in all my answers according to me. I submitted it to her, and then she made some changes in that. She said that this could be better said at this way, and that could be better said as this way. So she made some changes, and then I ratified some of the answer, and some answers I just left it I just remembered the main points. That's all, because it's technically not possible for you to like remember everything like how you used to remember answers during your childhood. So that is not like possible. And if you do that, you would be in trouble. So because if like a visa interviewer, if asking you some question, and if you be like, yeah, my name is this and blah and blah and blah and blah, so if you keep saying that, so that would be like a ratified answer. So you are not supposed to do that. It should come from within, and it should be very natural. It shouldn't show. So now coming back to what the visa interviewer told me, he was like, congratulations, I am approving your visa. And the thing is, I couldn't hear that properly. I was like, sorry, and I did that for 2 times, and it was just very bad. But I couldn't hear what he said. And then when he said it back to me, and when I heard the word approved, oh my god, I can't tell you that expression I had on my face. And I was so happy. For once, I was feeling very chilled. And so I hope you understand how it feels. Like you were waiting for this moment from months and months, and you were manifesting this to happen in your favor, and finally just happening. So I just after it just happened, I took my documents, I came out, I told my mother that my visa got approved. Everyone was very happy at my family. So I think this video sums up everything about my visa experience. And if you have any more doubts, you do let me know. If you still have questions like what to answer for this question to that question, you can still pin your questions in the comment section. I'll try like getting those answers from my friends who also gave their visa interviews, and I will like drop the answers in the comment section. So yeah, that's all for the video. Thank you so much for staying there by me. And you know what, I'm doing the video, I'm recording this video sitting at the same place. I'm ending the video, in fact, sitting at the same place that I ended the video in my first vlog, because I have a very good I had a very good response in my first vlog. So yeah, I'm having this gratitude feeling kind of.